Monster School, the spooky sleepover. Ooh, this one's for Vincent because he likes monsters. Monster School, the spooky sleepover. Norm was going to a sleepover. He was very nervous. It was his first time sleeping away from home. That must be Norm. Norm wanted to bring too much. He wanted to bring his piggy bank, his sleeping bag, his spaceship, his fish, and a fishing pole, and a swim ring. Oh, goodness, he was going to bring a lot of stuff. Oh, and that's not all. He's got his teddy bear and his cat, and it looks like a backpack with a bunch of stuff in it. Wow, I don't think he needs all that. This sleepover wasn't at a friend's house. It was at Norm's school. All the kids were little monsters, but that's not what worried him. I miss my bed already, said Norm. Yeah, you always sleep better in your own bed. That's the school with the sign that says Sleepover. I see some monsters. Norm wasn't like the other kids. He could not turn into a bat. He did not howl at the moon. Some of the little monsters turn into a bat. Poof! And now he's a bat. Norm did not cry out of 10 eyeballs. He only had 2. Norm was just normal. There's a little monster with 10 eyeballs, and he's crying out of all of them. He wants his mommy. M-O-M-M-Y. Mommy. Norm's class had sold the most at the school bake sale. They had won a sleepover in the library. Oh, it's in the library. Now I'm excited. Why does the prize have to be so scary? Norm asked. Miss Grunt was the librarian. She was nice, but she was a zombie. Grrr, she said. This did not help Norm feel safe. That's the librarian? Wow, Miss Grunt. Vincent, I know you know how to pretend to be a zombie. You could do that. Miss Clops was Norm's teacher. Norm had never seen a teacher in her pajamas. Her eye, one eye is all she had, already looked sleepy. Norm thought she might also have an eye in the back of her head. There's the teacher with one eye. Goodness, he goes to a real monster school. Story time, Hilda yelled. Of course it's a spooky story. Norm mumbled. Norm held his bunny tight. Hilda hugged her salamander. A salamander is like a little lizard. Bianca got in trouble for talking to herself. And the librarian says, shh, shh. Poor Norm. He's not sure he likes this. I hope it gets better for him. Oh, no. Gil fell asleep already, cried Frankie. Gil snored through his gills. That is just gross, Norm said. That must be Gil. He kind of looks like a sea monster of some kind. And he's snoring. Splat! Pizza time, Gary shouted. Gary is here? Asked Norm. I can't see him. Ghosts are like that, said Hilda. The pizza that Gary was eating fell right onto the floor. Splat! Hey, I am still hungry, said Gary. You can see the pizza, but not Gary. Later, Norm brushed his teeth. Other kids brushed their fangs. One girl brushed her face. A boy clipped his claws. That is a little rude, said Norm. They got their sleeping bags ready. Bianca forgot one of her pillows. Elsa forgot her bunny slippers. Isaac lost his fuzzy blanket and cried his eyes out. Oh no, his eyes are popping out. There they go, popping out, rolling all over. Oh my goodness. Mort's sleeping bag had sand in it. How can you sleep with sand? Asked Norm. It reminds me of home, said Mort. I couldn't sleep with sand or with a mouse in my head, said Norm. Oh, it's the snake in my tummy that keeps me awake, said Mort. Oh my goodness, Mort has problems. He's got a mouse in his head and a snake in his belly. He's a mummy. He's all wrapped up. Hilda, Bianca, and the other girls played a trick on the boys. Norm jumped up. Mort's mouse ran away. Vinny flew home, but Gil just kept snoring through his gills. That must be Vinny, the bat. He turned into a bat, and that flew away. There's the mouse that was in Mort's head. He ran away. Goodness sakes, all kinds of stuff happening at this party. Soon everyone settled down, but Norm could not sleep. He began to sniff. Everybody asked him what was wrong. I can't fall asleep. I do not have my nightlight. My cat is not sleeping with me, and my mother did not hum a sweet tune for me. Oh, don't worry, Norm, said Gary, the ghost that nobody could see. I can glow for you all night. And I can make a cat, said Hilda. Zap! She turned her salamander into a cat that curled up and went to sleep at Norm's feet. And I am an expert at humming sweet songs, said Miss Clops. She sat in Gary's glow and hummed sweet songs for Norm. Although the monsters are being very kind to Norm. Soon Norm smiled and closed his eyes. Sleepovers can be scary, he thought, but it sure helps to be surrounded by some very good friends. That was a really cute story. All the monsters were very nice to Norm.